show him what you got. Go!
There he goes again.
Coming to you live from the Every FNFF Minecraft server. It's not a ghost town anymore. I'm just kidding, it is. It's the Every FNFF podcast.
If you do log into the Every FNFF Minecraft server, don't touch any of my shit. It's booby trapped.
Yeah, not because I need it. I'm just trying to spare you. How are you gentlemen doing?
I'm fine. It's a wonderful day in the year 2021.
We finally made it.
My skin is clear. My back feels great. I feel hydrated and awake. It's a miracle, guys.
I can't believe the last surprise that 2020 had for all of us. You know, the really awful thing that happened at the very end of the year that we're all aware
December
of.
31st,
I don't even need to speak.
Terrible.
Yeah, on December 31st, that world-shattering event that happened that we all know about. That it's so obvious what we're talking about that it's not even worth bringing up. But man, 2020 didn't pull any punches even right there till the end.
Going into 2021, I feel like Stinko Man from that Homestar Runner cartoon where he's like, those first 10,000 bites of dirt weren't very good. Maybe this next one will be better. And I'm just like, every year is terrible. This is the one.
Yeah.
I'm Alex.
I'm Carl.
I'm Zachary Taylor, 13th President of the United States.
Zachary Taylor Thomas. Wow.
I don't know that he was the 13th president.
Is that the great grandfather of Corey Taylor of Slipknot?
That's right. That's right.
President Slipknot.
I'm Curtis.
We're aboard the Highwind today.
Oh, yeah, indeed.
Yeah, we made it back onto the Highwind.
We haven't gotten the name of it. Is that right?
Yeah, there's been nowhere that has said it so far.
Okay. All right.
Not even in like the menu where you save and stuff. It doesn't say like.
Yeah, we're on the ship. The airship, importantly. And like it's kind of like a weird the gang's all here moment, because like now we're allowed to like walk around the ship, right? Like we can go to the different rooms, we can check out the different hallways, and like all of the semi-important characters that we've like met along the way are here now, so it's like a big like reunion.
Hell yeah.
It's like the end of Pee-wee's Big Adventure. Everyone's
It's,
at the drive-in.
Oh, I was gonna say it's like Pee-wee's Big Adventure. Dee Snider is here singing "Gonna Burn in Hell" for Twisted Sister.
Large Marge was killed in the leveling of home.
But yeah, like in the very first room, we actually see Isaru, Maroda, and Pase. They're here, and they're kind of like giving us a little. I guess what we should say, like they're kind of, now that we know the secret of the pilgrimage, the summoners are more like open to talking with us about it, right? Like,
yeah,
they're like more trusting, I think, of us now at this point, and like Isaru and Maroda both are just like, yo, I'm not looking forward to dying. Like I don't want this to happen, but like it has to happen. So like, I don't know, they're like real resigned to their fate. You know what I mean?
Yeah, why wouldn't they be into the idea of having to die?
Yeah.
They're like, this shit sucks,
don't
man.
Like it. It got a really high score on Rotten Tomatoes. I don't know why you don't like it.
Twitter told me it's not cool to die. So now I feel self-conscious about being really into it.
Yeah. Pase is funny because he's sleeping on the floor. He's like sitting down when he's asleep. And like Maroda and Isaru kind of tell us like they regret bringing him along. Like the emotional stress and the physical strain of bringing a child on a pilgrimage, like maybe in retrospect wasn't the best idea.
Yeah. I mean, when you think about it too, especially with what we know now, it's just like, why the fuck would you bring a child?
Yeah. Well, I think that they're like brothers, like all three of them. So like maybe they did have that like, you know, brotherly camaraderie. So they were like, oh, it doesn't matter if he's like 10. We're going to bring him anyway.
Yeah.
Or maybe probably not 10. I feel like in Final Fantasy years, he's like a toddler.
I was thinking about that because like the scene last episode where they were all like kind of charging all those fiends during their big like triumphant speech, like Pase is like leading the pack for some reason. It's like, you're not a summoner, get out of there.
Get out of, he's a guardian, he knows what's up.
Okay,
what weapon do you think Pase uses?
Brass knucks.
brass knucks.
He has like all the same perks as like Waka, but it's like a slingshot.
Oh, love that.
Like a little Dennis the Menace. Or Bart.
If you look closely, you can see it in his back pocket.
Yeah.
He has dark touch slingshot.
Yeah, that's where he just aims directly at your eyes.
Or your nards.
True.
But yeah, so like that goes on a little bit. I do like there is a bit of the conversation that I enjoy where Saru says like,
"It must be sacrilege to think so highly of a machina. I feel uneasy just riding it."
and Titus asks him, he's like, "Oh, are you sure you don't just have motion sickness?"
Yeah.
Because they're like on the thing, and he's like, "What's motion sickness? What manner of infirmity is this?"
Is that a machina?
I never get motion sickness. Says Titus.
Yeah, I wonder if that's a nod to FF7 a little bit.
No, Yuffie getting motion
Yeah.
sickness on the ship, yeah.
Just because they're reading too much.
Kimari's in the hallway as well. I like his like kind of take on things where he like at first he said something about like, "Oh, I'll never forget the Albed sacrifice," but then I like his like take on Machina and like Yevon's teachings and shit, and he's like, if finding Yuna means using Machina, then I have no problem using Machina. He's very like what's the word?
Cool.
He's very
Cool as hell.
cool. He's cool as hell. But yeah, he's just like willing to do what needs to be done. He kind of like realizes that like no matter whether it's the teachings or not, it's like what you get out of it, I feel like is the important thing, you know? And he's just
Yeah.
like, "Oh yeah, no problem with it if it helps us do the thing."
Yeah, he's kind of utilitarian about it, where he's just like,
Yeah.
yeah, like I don't want to do that because I was told not to and stuff, but if I need to,
Right.
I'm fucking going to, because the only thing that matters to me is saving Yuna.
Right.
Where would your cat go if he could drive?
Probably the garage or the basement. Fish has been trying really hard to get into the garage, and also always the basement. as
car.
we know.
he gets out to the car and just drives it into the garage, and he's like, "Finally."
Yeah, Fish doesn't really like outside too much.
I don't know. I guess like all the fucking neighborhood cats live on my porch now, so they would all just drive to my house, I guess.
Yeah.
There's already hardly enough parking outside. It'd be
We're all
awful.
sneak into an R-rated movie.
Yeah, they all just stand on each other's backs and put on a trench coat.
Yeah. So like I walked backward down the hall first, like toward away from the camera.
Like
And,
so downhill. I think the way it works is that if you go clockwise, you go lower, and if you go counterclockwise, you go higher.
That's yes, correct. Yeah. So I went down first, and I like that like the Albed Sykes are already like back in training mode. Like fucking their entire home got blew up. Got
Yeah, it
blown up.
works.
Like there's like a ton of dead people.
Whoa, this blowed up. Here's my SoundCloud.
Can't wait till home blows up so I can act like I don't know nobody. But yeah, like they're already training again. Like there's like people running up and down the stairs, and we're like, gotta keep fit for blitzball season.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, they're just like in the like stowaway, like almost looks like a garage or something like that, right?
Yeah. I think it's the engine room. Well, I mean, maybe not. I just see those big things in the back, and I was like, oh, those must be engines, but I guess they aren't
That makes
necessarily.
sense.
I also like one of them because like we just saw that like Yevon and the Guado literally killed like hundreds of Albed, and like now their home is destroyed. And I like one of the blitzball players is just like, "Those Guado, they'll feel my wrath in the sphere." I'm gonna score so many points on them.
I'm gonna kick your butt
At Nintendo.
Yeah, so I have some dialogue here where like the one Albed is literally just saying, "Now is the time to train." Just
it's
like, never
there
let
was
a
ever-
tragedy go to waste. You got to use that to fuel your training.
Yeah, right.
I mean, it's very similar to Kilika, where a lot of them are just
Yeah.
like, we need Blitz to cheer people up after a loss of home, you see.
right.
Yeah, it was a good call.
The thing with this one is like I felt like Kilika, at least we like the next morning went out and people were like, "Oh, I'm gonna have to train or whatever." Like this just happened 5 minutes ago though. Like we're still speeding away from the explosion, and they're like,
the
"Easy come,
explosion
easy
that we
go."
caused.
They were
Yeah.
probably already training on the ship, like getting ready, like we said, just getting ready to go to like the next game.
they don't even know yet. They were just like in the ship training and like.
They're like, we can't
have
wait
no
to bring
idea.
that big trophy back to home. There's that female blitzball player that was like running up and down the stairs.
Yeah.
You can try to recruit her. I think I don't think you can. I think she's already under contract or whatever. But you get her name, and it's Lacam. And I translated. I was like, I wonder how that sounds in English. And it's like Kegel. It's with a C, but it's Ceggel. And I was like, huh.
Okay. But all blitzballers train a little bit differently.
It's worth noting that also, like, for a ship that was recovered from the bottom of the sea and supposedly is just like a piece of junk, it is cleaned up very nicely.
Yeah, very much so.
Very crisp.
Every light bulb works. Everything's very colorful and well painted.
Decaled on the outside.
Yeah, but there's no furniture still.
Did you notice that the bottom of the ship has like a fucking cape on it?
Yeah, it has like lots of rags and like just tassels on it still. There's a lot of it could be just stuff that they were still working on, like because they were like,
oh, like tarps that ripped up when they like took off.
No time to put the neon in.
Yeah, fair enough.
On the outside, at least, because there's hella neon in here.
Yeah. The inside is extremely neon.
It's kick-ass.
Glowy.
So, if you walk up the hallway or counterclockwise instead of clockwise, the next hallway has Rin in it, so he's here as well. And I really like Titus and Rin's back and forth here.
Well, it appears you too have escaped harm.
You were on the ship too?
I came to home to pick up some goods and found myself here. Quite the escape.
Thankfully, my goods were spared. Let me know if you need any of my wares. And then...
It's almost a rhyme.
Yeah.
I feel like most of his dialogue is.
After you buy or don't buy anything, he mentions, he says, how's your progress with our language, by the way? Like he did when we were at
Thunderplanes, I think.
The Thunderplanes, yeah. So he's like once again checking up on us and seeing how we're doing. And Titus says the line. He says, "Hello du sadwi," right? So like,
it's like, not too shabby. Check this out. Hello du sadwi.
And he says like the "nice to meet you" line that we learned a long time ago. And I like that Rin says, just repeating what I've said is not talking. Because like he has said that to us in the past, and he's like, just repeating a thing I said, that's not the same as learning a language.
But your pronunciation's quite passable. You've been studying, I see.
Yeah. But I like that he just gives us a little shit for it.
I wonder if this is different depending on how, like if you didn't collect any of the primers or anything. I mean, I guess Titus could still technically say the thing that, you know, because it's something that like Rin kind of taught him already.
Yeah. Immersion. But it can also depend on whether our last conversation, because if like there was different answers depending, like, are you learning our language or not? And it's and he can be like, he's like, oh yeah, that's fine. Like I can see why some people might not want to bother learning our language. I forgot what he said, but I'm wondering if he selected that, if he wouldn't even bring that up again, because like, oh yeah, he's not interested in.
Oh yeah, I don't know. Yeah. I should also say that like the way that the ship is laid out, so like you were saying, there is like a spiral hallway, and as you go down the hallway, there are
it feels like the Enterprise, where it's like a very circular, but I'm sure like there's the middle of the ship is kind of where all like the guts are, but
probably
all the cabins and stuff are on the outside.
Yeah, on that ring, right? So like the next hallway up from Rin is another hallway, but it has like offshoot rooms where there would be like cabins and storage areas and stuff. So I went down one of those, or the next one, and Donna's in there, and I do like that Donna has like the opposite of Isaru's kind of
outlook on things.
Outlook, right? And I do enjoy that at least they're a little different. Yeah,
she's looking pretty upset.
Well, she's on her own also.
Oh, she is on her own still. You're right.
So when you have the brothers together, you all got to like kind of lift each other up in that regard. I think just because they've grown up together, they probably keep each other motivated. But Donna is like, she's kind of, I mean, she has her weird himbo boyfriend, but he's been gone for a while.
She's running around in the woods still.
Chasing butterflies.
Chasing butterflies. He's like, if I can get all the blue butterflies, I'll find Donna.
He made it to the Bikanel desert and was able to piece together enough albed to read some of the signs. And he found one that just says, "How do you keep an idiot busy for hours?"
Look on the back of the sign.
Answer on the back of the sign. And then he went to the back and it says, "How do you keep an idiot busy for hours?" And he's just been stuck there. But But yeah, when you talk to her, she says she's like sitting in a weird way and just kind of like slumped over and like looking
She's still
like,
in her
defeated.
weird kinky outfit, which is mostly just
yeah.
like fishnets and like that hot dog thing going on. She's laced from the top up all the way up.
Which was the style at the time. But she says, look, I'm really tired. Leave me.
If it's not an emergency, would you mind leaving?
And then Titus kind of like shrugs and like, you know, hangs his head a little bit because he actually did want to, you know, talk to her. And then when you try to walk away from her, she says, wait, there's something I want to ask you.
What would you think if I said I was giving up my pilgrimage?
And then you get two options, and one is, sure, sounds good to me, and the other one is, who cares?
And I like that, like, those two options are not, like, opposite each other. It's not like, hey, that's good, or hey, that's bad. It's like, hey, that's good, or like, fuck you, I don't care.
Yeah.
And like, that's a weird set of options. But I said, sure, sounds good to me.
Yeah, that's also
like,
what I said.
I'm all about that life.
Unusual. Most people would never forgive a summoner who quit.
Why's that?
Behind my back, they would say I was abandoning my duty.
And then Titus says, so who cares? That was the other option.
Yeah. And
the first who cares is more like who cares what you do than versus
right.
who cares what other people say.
Yeah, because he goes on to explain it, right?
yeah, he says, why not do your own thing and let them say what they want? And she says,
Easy for you to say.
but you do have a point. Maybe Bartello and I should go someplace far away, which is kind of cute.
Yeah.
Barthelo.
Oh, Bartello.
I do have the dialogue here for if you do say who cares.
Yeah.
Which is what I actually picked.
Oh, okay. Oh, yeah. Do you want to take it away then?
Yeah, so I said who cares, and Donna says,
Show some sympathy.
and Taya says, oh, like all the sympathy you showed me the first time we met.
Ooh, got her. Burned.
Yeah, and Donna's like, you're right. Quitting now would be sort of anticlimactic, no?
Tell Una something, would you? Tell her she still has a rival. Me. Tell her she'd better do her best or be bested. You'll tell her, won't you?
Ooh.
Tell her smell you later and that my Gramps likes me better than her and I have the Squirtle and you have the Charizard or the Charmander.
When I heard you were champion, I came.
I do like the kind of like she still is kind of a piece of shit, but at the same time is like no matter what, you better like fucking pick up the slack regardless, because like everyone's counting on all the summoners. So like it's just like it's almost like she's being a rival just to get everyone else like kind of motivated. Right. Like she's I need to be a villain because everyone needs like something tangible and emotional to work towards again. So just like
I do like Donna as a character though, like for that reason. I think.
Yeah, it's cool that she sticks to her guns with it.
Wait, like she is kind of like she's a jerk and a piece of shit. I don't know that I would like to hang out with her or anything. Yeah. But like in a story that you're telling, right? Like it's a really interesting character to have in a story. And I think that she's well written for that reason.
Yeah. I like that she's like, okay.
She still has dimension even though she's kind of an asshole.
Exactly,
Yeah,
right.
Like, she
exactly.
still has a conscience, like, like
Yeah.
I mean, it's kind of the polar opposite of Isaru and stuff, where like this is just how she copes with her like
existential realization that she's on a suicide march.
Yeah, it's a defense mechanism potentially.
It's kind of an interesting dynamic too, where she's like, oh, tell Yuna that I'm still her rival, because presumably if Donna is Yuna's rival, she is trying to get to the end of the pilgrimage first and do the final summoning and defeat Sin, which would mean that she would be the one to die and presumably all the other summoners would live.
Right, yeah. I guess there's like the honor in it, I suppose, is like the big thing, And like she's told us before when she's met us, she like thinks that we have it very easy, right? She's like, oh, you have like these legendary guardians and your dad was the high summoner. Like
this is like the scene in like Infinity Wars where like Scarjo and Renner are just like trying to throw each other off the cliff. They're just like fighting each other because like both of them are trying to sacrifice themselves.
Oh, that's pretty funny.
It's like, fuck you, no, I'm gonna do it. The glory's mine. That's kind of like what like do her best or be bested kind of thing. Like screw you, and then just fucking beefs it.
Yeah, I really like when Donna says, "Tell Yuna something. Tell her I am going to become the Joker." And then when you leave, if you talk to her again, she says, "Thanks for the company. I feel so much better now," which is nice.
I appreciate that. Yeah.
Yeah.
There's a bunch of Albed in the back room. If we go down to the end of that cabin. I didn't take any screenshots of anything they said because I was like, none of it's really important. They're just like, I'm sad that Holmes exploded.
I must tell the other players in Luca what has happened. Like, yeah, it's
all about that blitz.
No time
Blitz
for
is
tears
life.
and shouting. All we must do is rebuild our home.
So that we can have a place to blitz.
Chased by a fiend, we are all very tired and very scared.
So yeah, it's just
At least the kid is like, I hit my head when the ship shook. Now I have a lump.
Yeah, pretty
the
cute.
best dialogue out of anybody in there.
So you know where the stakes are at.
I'm on that Arinlu site that we're using the for the script, and I do like the way that the Albed are like credited in this, where it's Mr. Gas Mask, woman in bikini, seated man, blonde, blue overalls, man doing stretches, woman in striped skirt, woman on left in leggings, and child. Which, like, child could actually be his name if brother is any indicator.
Yeah.
His brother's little brother's named Child.
I like a man doing stretches.
Oh, there's another one here too, like in a different section of the airship. That's Albed on left-hand side, Kayaku clone, which is just like, hey,
clone.
he's back. They cloned him. It's fine.
He's at the top and the bottom, so it's just like,
Yeah.
it's like a walker. He's just wherever you need him.
You think I'd miss this party? Kayaku, you're alive. Thank God.
There's really nothing else. Like, there's an adult and a kid standing in the hallway. If we go back to the main hallway, and she says that the kid does not understand that home has exploded. Very sad.
Yeah, very sad.
But if we run down to the end of the hallway, we get to the other, like, we get to the end of it, right? And we kind of emerge in a what's the bottom part of a Zeppelin? We've had this conversation. It's like a viewing
cabin?
area.
The caboose.
Yeah. The caboose.
Well, from the camera angle, it just looks like you're exiting a subway.
It does.
It's just a stairwell going straight up towards the
A
camera.
Subway restaurant, or
No, SEPTA.
how many Michelin stars does Subway have?
But yeah, it's like a floor on the ship that we can, like,
I think it's called
see
the
out of.
observation deck.
Yeah, that
would
makes
make
sense.
Thank you. That's what I was looking for. I was trying to think of what that's called. An observation deck, indeed.
It's quite nice.
But somebody mentions the guy on the left side says,
Yeah,
your face."
The Kayako clone.
Yeah, the Kaiku clone. He says, "Your face. I've seen it before. Perhaps in the temple at Baj." And I think that's the first time we've heard the name, the temple at Baj. But that's the temple that we were in at the very, very beginning when Sin gave us the suck.
Oh,
We were like, we were like, oh, it's so cold in here and everything. That's the name of that place.
so he kicked our ass and kidnapped us, but maybe forgot who we were.
Yeah, right.
It's like, oh, you're the guy who hung out on our ship for a day before Sin attacked.
yeah. So he was there. Yep.
That's interesting because when I saw that, I like, obviously I didn't recognize the word Baj, and I was like, that could be something that's like important later, like with the like alternate like universes or whatever. And then I'm like, oh no, he was literally just there when we were fighting the Click or whatever.
Yeah. Yeah, the click. That's right.
I thought, it was gonna be like my face, like etched to like you're the chosen one, the one
are the
told in
one.
the prophecy, the one with like Lily Titus' face.
Oh, I'm sorry. Well, I didn't mean to give it away.
It's him laughing.
Oh no, that's completely fine.
No, that makes sense though. Like I didn't realize that. Yeah, so there's a place
When
for that.
when it didn't go anywhere, I would have totally forgotten it anyway.
Well, that's the thing is, like, eventually we'll be able to go back to Baj and, like, I don't know, grab a Chezzer chest, I guess. But like,
Get some more bouquets, withered bouquets, so we can make a
withered
fire or
bouquets.
whatever.
Yeah. Actually, the reason we go back to Baj is just to beat that fucking thing up that was chasing us in the water. And
Yo, hell yeah.
But anyway, it's not like I don't feel bad about like saying like that's the name of that temple because like it's not a
Yeah.
you don't even have to go. So anyway, another Albed says it's odd to fly on a ship dragged from the ocean floor, and I think that's like another like tip of the hat of like, hey, this is the thing that you were salvaging at the beginning of the game.
I think Rico will straight up like tell you also later. She's like, "Hey, remember the ship? It's the one we found at the bottom of the ocean."
Oh yeah, I think you're right.
She'll say it too. If like it's more optional text, so it's easy to miss.
Yeah,
but-
she's like, this was our big prize. This surely is the Final Fantasy X. And then she looks at the camera and winks.
So do we want to go back to the bridge
Yes. Because there's
progress
nothing
the
else
story.
to do. Yep.
Go back to the brig.
Oh.
Bring it to the bridge.
Bring it to the bridge.
Bring Machina back. But
I was like, I'm gonna see how long I can let the momentum dial. It's just not saying anything.
We're gonna have a silence competition on this week's episode. It's gonna be our longest episode, and everyone listening along is just gonna have to sit in somber silence with us.
People are listening to it just feeling awkward. So, people listening to our podcast feel like they have to start talking.
please call in. Lines are open. But we get back to the bridge, and Oren and Sid are kind of like...
They're kind of arguing.
Yeah, they're having an argument. They're kind of like... There's some heat going on, because they've got different motivations. Right?
Yeah, right.
Because, like, Oren just wants to kick Sin's ass, and we can't do that
Oren
without
is
Yuna.
dead set on the pilgrimage, and
Sid's like, no.
Yeah, and Sid is taking the position of no.
Yeah, it's just the meme of like the Chad looking guy and just says no. No, you can't just rescue Yuna and then continue going on the pilgrimage with like Sid's face crying.
That face is already really close to Sid's face too. It wouldn't be hard to make
I think I mixed it up the way, but Oren's just like, yes.
So yeah, we catch them mid-conversation, and Oren is saying,
After rescuing Yuna, then what? You want to keep her safe, correct?
would you seek to stop her pilgrimage? And Sid's just like, of course. If she continues this fool pilgrimage, she'll die.
Sure as if you killed her yourself. No harebrained law or teaching could send my little niece to her death.
When I save her, I'll make her give up being a summoner quicker than a desert melts ice. I was like, that's awesome.
Also, super props to him using the word harebrained. That really kicks ass.
Harebrained scheme.
I mean, a lot of this feels like things I would hear like Joe Biden say also.
Sid is a very no malarkey.
I can see the tone of it sounding familiar, but I think the actual like what's being said, it's like,
Malarkey.
Nah, Jack, you gotta keep going, and it doesn't matter that you're gonna die at the end of this, you just gotta keep going and do it.
Yeah, that's very Biden-y, yeah.
I can understand where Sid's coming from though. Like,
Oh yeah,
you know,
no, I mean it totally makes sense.
She's family.
Not only
he's
is she family, but it's also like it's according to the teachings of Yevon, who like the Albed clearly like have good reason to be like, no, fuck that shit. Like, why
especially now at this point, they like attempted a full-on genocide.
Yeah, and they're like, why the fuck should we like sacrifice my niece? Or it's his niece, right?
Yeah.
Unky Sid is like, we're not sacrificing my niece for this fucking stupid religion. Like, I'm not gonna fucking stand for it. Like, I can get behind that.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
I blew up my niece years ago.
Especially because, like, I mean, it's kind of interesting too because Oren also does not like Yevon, but he just happens to be on the side of doing the pilgrimage. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but I think it's more so like he knows more than Sid. Like, it's pretty obvious that he knows shit.
That's why he doesn't put his arm through that sleeve, is because he's got something up his sleeve.
He's occupied. This sleeve is taken.
It's just got a bunch of handkerchiefs, like colorful handkerchiefs that are like all tied together. He's like, whoa!
He pulls them out. Whoa!
He goes to shake Titus's hand, and there's a buzzer in it. And... Hey, Titus, smell this flower.
Yeah, he's gonna mind freak Sin.
Man, Oren's way too cool to be a magician.
But I like that, like, Sid straight up threatens Oren too about this. Like, after he says, "Oh, it's better than a dog's death," he says, "I'll take down anyone that don't agree." And so he's like threatening Oren to like beat him up.
Yeah, I also like in that back and forth, he like was pretty much like, if you let her continue the pilgrimage, it's basically like you're killing her yourself.
Yeah,
He explicitly said that. He's like, her blood is going to be on your hands, motherfucker.
Yeah, and then he like threatens people like that. He's like, "I'll fucking kill you if you like try to do this." Yeah. And like, I like that Oren just says, "You're the captain."
and Sid's like, "Good, then it's settled."
Yeah,
it's a cool back and forth.
And then, oh my gosh, and then I immediately, you see, you get to walk around now, and I immediately talk to Waka, and I just love this thing that Waka says.
Right.
He goes,
"He called Yuna his niece, right? I mean, so that makes her Albed, right?
don't say it.
he's like, oh no.
I've been racist against all of my close friends.
I know, and he just eventually is like, Yuna's Yuna, right? And I was like, Waka.
Hell yeah.
I love it.
Yeah, I think he's kind of starting to come more to terms with like getting over his racism.
Yeah, he's not necessarily coming around, but he's coming to terms with it. Yeah,
he's realizing that he's not gonna win.
Yeah,
he's outnumbered, man. Like,
especially now, now that he's like walked through home while there's like a war on them. Yeah, Riku says, "Can't Uni end her pilgrimage?"
In Albed for some reason.
Yeah, in Albed. Lulu says, "No matter what happens, Yuna won't give up the pilgrimage." And if you talk to Orin out in the hallway, he just says, "Let him say what he wants."
Yeah.
I was like, ooh, Orin.
Orin's like, I could kick that guy's ass anytime I wanted. I just don't want to.
Yeah. Oh man. Oh, I don't want to see Uncle Orin and Uncle Sid fight.
Yeah, Uncle Sid is a very intimidating looking man.
I know. He's very stout.
Who's the actor who plays Red Foreman from that Semi show? Or
the bad guy from RoboCop.
The bad guy from RoboCop.
Yeah, he looks like him.
He kind of does. That'd be good. You remember how we were casting? We were doing a movie. We were doing casting for FF10. There you go. There's Sid.
You know what's gonna happen, Orin? If you bring Yuna back on her pilgrimage, my foot is gonna go up your ass.
Dumbass.
We go in to fight Seymour and like we go in to fight Seymour and like all the Guado are protecting him and we're just like, bitches leave. All right, anyway, but yeah, if you talk to Brother who's flying the ship,
which Carl had a hard time figuring out.
Oh my god.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
When's this ship gonna get there?
I was like, good god, is this another event where you just fucking wait?
Yeah, right. He says, Father, we found Yuna. And Sid's like, oh, where? And Brother goes, I'll show you. And they kind of like put it on screen. So it's like Star Trek, I guess, where they're like on screen and they like show
This
it.
is the Oscillofinder, right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. So does Brother have control of the Oscillofinder? That seems like an odd thing for him to be able to do from there.
They don't know how it works, so I'm guessing that Sid turned it on and was just looking at it and then realized that Brother could actually is the one who's supposed to be like operating it.
Oh, maybe.
I was like, oh, I don't know.
They're really bumbling around up there. But yeah, then we get to see
any games on this.
Sid had it on HDMI 2, and Brother's like, ugh, here's your problem. You have to have it on HDMI 1. Dad, I showed you how to use the remote like 7 times. Stop FaceTiming me to tell you how to use the oscillophone. Whatever the fuck the thing's called.
Yeah, the Sphere Oscillofinder. God, it's still so stupid.
It's more like, yeah, whoever like finally assembled it, like, okay, what should we name this thing? Okay, on the count of 3, and everyone just says something. And the person who says Sphere Oscillofinder, it's so many words that like everybody has finished what they think they want to call it, and that's all that they can hear. He's just that sounds like a lot of Machina.
I'm still convinced that Sid just doesn't know the actual name of it, and it said it wrong, like the Nintendo.
Yeah, I'm curious because like this is 1,000 years old. They kind of have to like rename everything, kind of figure everything out. Which again, like, kind of questions how long it's been since we met Riku in episode 2 of this run.
Yeah, I don't know because we have all those moments of like blackouts and stuff.
Could have been a month.
Yeah, probably. But anyway.
Oh, so speaking of music, the whole time we've been walking around on the ship, there's like this really cool, nice like waltzy orchestral thing going on. I forget what it's called. I think it's called Into
Xanarkand.
Into the Florida girl.
It's called Beyond the Darkness.
Oh.
It's a really nice like kind of classical. It's a very
like
should have heard I lost my head. Is that Alice in Chains? Who is that?
I think so.
Or is that Chris Cornell?
Either or.
Like all my grunge is confused. Or
Either or.
I was thinking that it was
Garbage,
Pearl Jam,
right?
but it is absolutely Alice in Chains. Or as I call her, Miss Chains. Allison.
Allison Chains. Yeah.
Allison Chains. God, that's a good song.
Well, what a disaster.
That's a really
anyway.
good fucking song.
It is a good
Allison
song. It's a
Chains
good
is good.
band.
Yeah, it's a good band.
Okay. Well, the craziest thing is that their original singer died, and like he had such an individual voice that I was like, oh man, that's it for Alice in Chains, because like only he sounds like him. And then they got another guy a couple years later who sounds exactly like him, and I was just like, oh my god, it's so weird. And then they put out an album and it sounds like their old stuff, and I was just like, that's the weirdest thing ever.
Yeah, and they all went to the far plane and saw the original singer, and they were like, hey, we got a new guy. He kind of looks a little bit like you. And then Alice in Chains, all of their swords got like buffs. It had like plus 10 strength or whatever.
No, all their chains got buffs.
Anyway, so we get to see on the Sphere Oscilla Finder that fucking Seymour's alive.
Well, you get a glimpse of him, but yeah, we first just see a shot of Yuna with a nice little haircut.
Oh yeah,
she's in a very cute dress.
Yeah.
It's got a flowery looking kind of short dress.
Yeah, it's like half dress, half skirt.
Yeah.
But Seymour's got this fucking goofy looking robe and like a silly little like dome of a weird little pointy hat. Like he's like a wizard.
Yeah, a white pointy hat. Little suspect, Seymour.
It's like a thimble.
Can't really wear that.
It looks like a thimble. I feel like describing anything as a thimble just completely like takes any power out of it. MF looks like a thimble.
It's weird that Seymour. It's weird that Seymour, while wearing this hat, says the South will rise again. I'm not really sure what the significance of that is, but fuck this guy.
Mercedes in the South. Anyway, yeah. So he's back. He's not only back, but he's back at it again, doing what he does best, trying to get married or trying to get Yuna to marry him. I almost said trying to get married to Yuna him.
Oh, that's MF.
Damn it. It's like last week when I said fucking Rika and Waku.
Still funny.
Waku! It's trying to get married to Yuna him.
What was that Klonoa song? Waku Stomp?
Oh yeah, the Wahoo Stomp, yeah. Wahoo!
Waku.
It's a banger. Anyway, they don't like say anything. There's nothing that happens in this scene. We're just viewing it from afar, right?
Just waiting around.
Just waiting around. Why don't they just do it?
Yeah,
they can get hitched already.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're at like the top of like.
Yeah, they're like at the top of like a temple or something. Like they're like above the clouds.
Yeah,
I didn't realize it was like. Well, I mean, we'll find out later that this is a top of a building, but it looks like it's just like a floating like structure.
They got their own airship.
Yeah, it's really wild. It's like very nice though. I kind of like it. Like, to be honest,
it's got water falling off of it.
Yeah, it looks beautiful.
It kind of reminds me a little bit of Zora's Domain in Breath of the Wild, a little bit.
Yeah, for sure.
Too.
If it didn't have a bunch of armed guards,
yeah,
it would look very lovely.
The armed guards are a little strange, but they're like the only people there besides Maester Micah and
yeah, that's true.
And Groom, Bride, and Maester Micah, and that's it. That's all, and all the guards. It's weird.
Tale as old as time.
Yeah, right. The traditional Spira wedding.
It shows Titus back on the airship, and he says, "Where was that?" And Lulu says, "The palace of Saint Bevelle, heart of Yevon."
Yeah,
and Titus just goes, "Gramps, let's move." And then Sid's like, "Easy, kiddo. Bevelle's defenses are top notch." And then Titus like slaps back at him and just goes,
"What's the matter, Gramps? You scared?"
you chicken? Are you yellow?
You gonna cry? Like a little bit of Jack is coming through from Titus there.
A little bit of Biff Tannen from Back to the Future.
Make like a tree and get the hell out of here. But he says,
"Yuna's there, so we go and get her, and that's all."
This is cute little like over the shoulder like kind of look shot of Titus saying that, like it just kind of.
He has like a little cheeky smile, like a little wink or whatever. He's like, and that's all.
Yeah, and if it wasn't Titus, it would be cool, but it's Titus, so it's kind of not cool.
Like, you're an idiot.
Yeah, I know. And Sid says, you got guts, and then in Al bed.
Carlo Inca du Bevelle! Vim, kabat hiret!
Set course to Bevelle, full speed ahead. And Brother screams, Roger!
Nuka,
I love this sequence because after Brother like accelerates the ship, Titus gets knocked back in his ass, but then he immediately gets right back on his knees like, I totally meant to do that.
I know, it's great, yeah. Because like we see like the camera like zoom through the bridge as though to show us that like, oh, Brother has fucking kicked this thing into overdrive and we're going really fast now. And yeah, Titus he like goes backward, like he goes head over heels like a couple times. But yeah, as soon as he like is done rolling around, he just like pops up and like tries to play it off like nothing happened.
Yeah, and as that's all happening, Sid says,
"It'll take a while to get to Bevelle. Meanwhile..."
And then Titus jumps up and he's like, "We prepare for battle," like he didn't just eat shit.
Yeah, like he didn't eat shit.
It reminded me of like, have you guys ever like, I used to do this all the time when I was like in school and I was taking either like a bus or a trolley to get to school, where I would stand and right before it starts, I'm like, I'm going to try and not hold on to anything if I'm standing up.
Dude,
for
I
it.
still would do that on SEPTA, like
on trolleys and stuff.
Like last year, I would be like, I'm going to try to do this.
Yeah, and I always like, I could never really do it in a cool way. Like, I
no,
would move
yeah,
a
because you have to
bit,
like brace yourself so much.
Yeah, I'd try and be cool. I don't think, I've never fallen completely though, but...
The only cool way to do that is just to stand perfectly straight up and down and just go ahead and fall forward. Just like when the trolley comes to a stop, just allow yourself to be flung forward toward the front of the trolley. Just like see how far you can go.
Or to just jump immediately when it starts, so that like you land in a different spot than where you jumped straight up.
But I don't know about you guys, but I think I may need some time to prepare.
Yeah, that sounds fine.
That's probably a good idea.
Yeah, so let's take a break.
And I'm about to...
Into the flood again. So we're back on the Fahrenheit.
We're prepped, and we can still go around talking to people, though.
Yeah, we're ready for whatever is coming. We're fully prepared.
Yeah. I like what Lulu says here, where she like tells us like, hey, we're going into Bevelle, and there's a lot of underwater at Bevelle, so maybe you, Waka, and Riku should study some magic. And I was like, I don't know if the game has ever literally told us, like, hey, this is getting ready to happen. Make sure you do these things.
Yeah.
Like, oh.
Make sure you pack a sweater.
Make sure we're going to the snowy Arctic. Make sure you get a sweater and a bunch of equipment with null frost. Also, even though we've crashed a wedding already in this game, Waka still does not know what a wedding is. Because if we talk to him, he's like, why were they wearing those fancy clothes? And like Lulu literally says,
it's called a wedding dress.
What?
And then if you talk to him again, he says, what's going on? What kind of event would people be at where they wear wedding clothes?
It's funnier even because like Lulu was planning on like marrying
Chapu.
Yeah.
And like so it's just like my wedding, remember? Like, dude, we were like planning.
Yeah.
What?
Waka would have been best man, and he totally wouldn't have worn a tux. He would still just be wearing his like b-ball shorts. Like, initially, I kind of took it as just Waka like thinking that that's too obvious, but he's like more so just shocked by the fact that like Seymour is one, alive, and two, like getting ready to proceed with the marriage anyway, after the events of like what went down. But I think you're right. I think the way this actually reads is just he's a dipshit who doesn't know what a wedding is.
I think it was more like he didn't realize it was a wedding until he said it. Was like, oh wait, what?
Yeah.
But it could be that he just wasn't thinking of it as a wedding. Like, I mean, if I saw this out of context, I would not have read that as mine. Like, oh yeah, like everyone's here. Me, my fiance, his boss, and you know,
his boss. Yeah.
50 armed guards. You know, that's what weddings are.
Although, if you talk to Lulu again, I think she does say something very interesting, where she says Seymour is one of the dead now. Odd. Why does Maester Micah allow the unsent to walk free? And like, indeed, that is a good question.
Quite a good question.
Like,
when will the president speak out about the dead just walking around on the street acting like people?
We definitely need to make shirts of either or Jiskel and Seymour that say hell was full so I came back, or like Farplane was full so I came back.
Yeah.
Forgot to hit send.
Yeah, forgot to hit send.
Yeah, when Riku says, "When there is no more room left in hell, the dead will walk the earth."
If you talk to Riku, actually, like a little scene begins, like a miniature little scene.
There's a few of them, yeah, actually.
Yeah, and she says, "What is Seymour doing alive? Didn't we take care of him in Makalania?"
I'd love that line so much. Like, what is that motherfucker doing alive? I thought I killed his ass.
Yeah, well, he did.
This guy's got no business being alive.
This guy's got a lot of nerve being alive.
Orin says, "He is dead as Jiskel was.
His attachment to this world kept him from the next."
And, like, I will say, like, I do. Yeah, I got that exact picture, too.
There's a really good face
the
of
little cat paw. Yeah, she goes, whoa, scary, and, like,
it's
paws
so
the
cute.
air. But I will say, though, I'm all about a good dead will walk the earth story. Like, that shit is fucking metal as fuck. But it does almost seem too fucking easy in the world of Spira. Because it's like, oh, he had unfinished business, and it's like, oh, well, what negative consequences is there for coming back as a ghost? And they're like, nothing. It's literally the same as being alive.
Not that you
Like,
can still marry Yuna, you know?
You can still marry Yuna. You're still physically tangible.
You can give her a sphere that says that you were killed by the guy she's gonna marry, you know?
Yeah, you can interact with objects. You can fucking talk to people. You can presumably, like, eat food and go to fucking blitzball games. You just don't die. And, like, when you put it that way, who the fuck would want to be sent? You just, like, decide
like, why
not
the
to be
fuck?
dead.
Put me back,
Yeah.
put me back.
Yeah, I know. Because, like, anything that happens to you, could you be like, oh, I really want to see the season finale of House, so I'm not ready to go yet. And, like, you just don't. You just stick around.
My weird read on it is that to Seymour, because he's a summoner and has the power to send, is that he, like, oh yeah, I said no thanks to the fiend thing, so I'm back as me. Like, that's kind of what I saw, because if you're just, like, not a summoner or, like, aren't someone who's in tune with, like, with magic or whatever, that you like, yeah, you turn to a fiend because you're, like, become corrupt.
Yeah, I think you're 100% right. But that also makes me think that, like, if there is just a known way to not be able to die, like, dude, everybody should be into that. Like,
Yeah.
like, everybody in the entire world, like, if you just
Final
do...
Aeon can kill a summoner.
Yeah, like,
Just like, well, I'll just not die.
just don't want to go to the far plane. Yeah.
I'll come back. It's fine.
Be like, I got finished business. I have to
Yeah.
go to this fucking lake or whatever with Titus, so
yeah, right.
can't send me.
I have to go do all this dumb shit with Titus afterwards. My attachment to
Yeah.
the world kept me alive.
Yeah, I don't really want to do it, but I promised him, so, you know, I don't want to welch on it.
Right. It just seems like there's not a lot of downside is the thing.
No,
like,
I agree,
if you
yeah.
could, if you can just be now an unkillable but living essentially person, they should just teach that in Spira schools. Like, that should just be like elementary schools. Like,
Yeah, you
we just
just-
teach you how to fucking cheat
You just
death.
learn how to do it. Yeah.
I learned all the state capitals and I know how to cheat death. It's fine.
You just have to opt out.
Yeah, the one state capital, Bevelle.
Who's the short Animaniac? Wacko?
Wacko,
Yes.
I think.
Yeah, when he does the capitals of the United States song or whatever.
Well, yeah, Yakko is the big one who says the...
Yakko does the countries. Yeah, and then Wacko.
Okay.
Wacko? Good
Waka.
lord. I can't, yeah, Wacko. Wacko does the capitals song or whatever. Yeah, he would just, like, do the capitals of Spira. He's like, well, there's Bevelle. Like, the song's over. Yakko Warner does the countries of the world. There's Spira. Spira and Beaconell.
Beaconell.
It's like the two.
Spira and Beaconell.
Yeah.
Spira and Beaconell. Spira, Beaconell, and Spira.
Beacon too.
Yeah, Beacon L2. They're gonna have to have a Beacon L2 now that home's all fucked up.
You can go back. That's fine.
Anyway, I'm sorry.
So yeah, he is dead. As dead as Jiskel was. Yeah,
Yuna must be trying to send him.
So, like, he suspects that's why she's
pretty
like,
baller move.
that is kind of a baller move. Where she's like, no, yeah, it's fine. I'll marry you. No big deal. Like,
Yes, I'm absolutely not
that's
terrified that
ballsy.
you're still alive. That you're back from the dead.
Yeah, right.
Let's have this totally legitimate wedding where I have no ulterior motive.
Yeah, right. Riku says, I wonder if that will work. And Orin says, perhaps he won't expect it. And if you talk to Riku again, she says,
Yeah, we're gonna save Uni, and nobody's gonna stop us.
Orin kind of like waxes about it a little bit. He's like, Bevelle, it's been 10 years. Sid says, wetting my britches. which is some good fucking dialogue right there.
Fuck yeah.
Those Yevon rockheads, I'll give them something to remember. It's that good shit.
Yeah, Sid's got some good insults.
Yeah, I like it.
Hairbrained, rockheads.
Yeah.
Yeehaw.
Britches leave.
So if you try to leave the bridge, alarm will go off, right?
Yep, and Ren runs in.
We're being attacked from within. Some of the Guado that attacked home must have snuck on board.
And
Bastards.
Sid's like, well, you're awfully calm about it. And I like that Ren just says, I'm calm about most things. Love Ren.
I want to know what he's not calm about.
Ooh.
Titus is like, sock puppets. Where?
Yeah. And then I like that Sid says, fiends, there's nothing to do but, and then like Riku pops up in front of the camera and like is mimicking his voice and goes,
But destroy the ship and all go down together.
That's so good.
and his like face, I know his face changes. He's like, "Ugh." Yeah. And she says, you gotta learn a little restraint, Pops. If you crash the ship, we can't go rescue Uni. Leave the fiends to us professionals. And then like she and Titus do exactly the same pose at the same time and
Hell
say,
yeah.
let's go. And like, that scene is so fucking good. Where like, it's just like, we're gonna blow shit up. We're gonna blow up the ship. Or he's like thinking about it or whatever.
Yeah, I think we talked about this a little bit last week, right? Where we were like, yeah, his solution to everything is just fucking blow it all up to hell. Which like begs the question, was there a better solution for like how to deal with the home situation?
For home?
Yeah, like,
right.
did you really have to just destroy it all? Like, maybe you could have just gone to fucking Bevelle, taking care of shit that needs to get taken care of there, continued running away.
And come
like,
back.
Yeah, who knows?
Yeah.
Oh, the primer's lost. That's one thing to do. Fucking blow it all up.
Rin says, Riku, you've made some very good friends, I think. Good luck. And I was like, fuck yeah, Rin's on my side, boy. But yeah, and then we're ready to like run around and go fight some Guado and stuff.
Sid says,
Relax. This ship's still got some fight left in her. Let them take their best shot.
I love that.
it's funny that they're just like holding on to like their asses. Like it still looks fine to me, but like he's claiming that this thing is like barely holding on.
Yeah, and if you talk to Brother, there's kind of more reinforcement to that where he says, leave me be, I'm concentrating. And if you talk to him again, he says, keep flying, keep flying. He's like pleading with it.
What was the name of the Albed Psych who was running up and down the hallway?
Lacam, I think.
Lacam. Lacam is still running.
Not Kegel.
Yeah, not Kegel. Lacam is still fucking practicing, like still running up and down the hallway, but says, oh, there's fiends in all the places. And like
in all the places.
Yeah, they're acutely aware that the ship is under attack, but that doesn't matter. It's always Blitz. Blitz is life.
I think she says, have care. There are fiends in all places. Like watch your step. There's fiends everywhere.
Yeah. Blitz waits for no one.
One of the Albed says something really cool. They say, I will not die in this place. I fear no fiend. Come and I will fight.
Yeah.
Very good.
Rin is there. You can buy stuff from him. If you talk to Isaru, Saru's like, yo, I got this room. You keep going on.
Which I don't think is actually true because...
You can still get into encounters, yeah.
Yeah, like, good job, asshole. It's like, did you guys ever see Happy Gilmore?
Yes, but it's been a little while.
It's like when he's first up and he's at his like first golf tournament or whatever, and like there's his caddy who he immediately thinks is stealing his clubs, and he like tries to beat the shit out of him. But then he's like, no, I don't need you to carry my stuff. Like that's weird and stuff. And he's like, well, what am I supposed to do? He's like, how about you just make sure like I don't make an ass out of myself? And he's like, okay, sure. And then Happy Gilmore's standing in front of the guy who's about to tee off, and he's just like, Mr. Gilmore, like he's about to tee off, and he's like, oh, okay, good luck, buddy. And he's like, get out of the way, and like everyone's laughing at him, and he just walks over to his caddy and he goes, where were you on that one, asshole? Like you just get attacked by Guado in this compartment, like, sorry, where the hell were you on that one, asshole?
Did one job, buddy.
Yeah.
If you go into the side compartment now, we can bump into Donna again.
Yeah.
Which is funny because I think we were talking about this in a previous episode where like, but she says,
it's too cramped to call Aeons here. I'll leave this fight to you. Show us your stuff.
On the observation deck, there's a Albed who says, it is a battle most dangerous. Take this with you, and gives you 4 Albed potions. So that was nice.
Hell yeah, nice.
But But when we get to the observation deck, also something very important happens here.
Wait, before we get there.
Oh, goddamn.
Sorry, but when you talk to one of the Albed who are there, like right past Donna, who was like, "Oh, like I'll let you take care of this because it's too cramped to summon Aeons," they say the corridor is protected by Summoner, so this room should be safe. It's like she's not doing jack shit. Hate to break it to you.
That's amazing.
But yeah, back on the observation deck, there is like Mr. Gasmask does say, "Do the Yevon worms think to kill us all?" Which I like.
Yeah, right.
Those are Yevon worms.
Yeah.
Speaking of worms.
Yeah, speaking of worms,
a different variety.
As we walk by the windows of the observation deck, there's just a giant, nasty fucking worm dragon thing flying beside the ship, right? And it's enormous.
It's quite large.
And I like the Oren's response to it is he just kind of like, as an aside, is like, "Huh, there's a rare sight."
Yeah, it's really cool.
That's kind of the same energy of that God, I forget that Invader Zim episode, but there's like a cloaked ship above Zim's house, and it's just a fucking
whale. It's a whale, yeah.
It's like, oh, look at that. More whales.
But yeah, Lulu explains that it's the guardian worm, Evray?
I've been saying Evra, but
Evray, I
it feels
think,
good to say Evra, but like I think it sure is
Evra Kadabra.
Evra effin' FF. Wow. We did it. We made it.
Episode title. She says, "It's the great sacred beast, protector of Bevelle."
this MF
Dude,
just
what
said
is
Bevelle.
wrong with me?
Dude, it's been a long fucking year. I mean, it's a new year, and you have no,
and it's already been a
excuse
long
now.
fucking year.
It's the Sins toxins. It's still.
But I love what Oren says after this. He says, "The red carpet has teeth." I was like,
so cool.
"Oh, that's cool."
I don't know, real poetic. These next few lines is always real funny to me. Where he's like, there's sometimes where he's like just very literal and like to the point, but now he's like being very like flowery with his like expressions.
Yeah.
You love to see it.
But yeah, and Titus, he says, "Wait, that means we're close to Bevelle because of the worms here."
And then Sid comes over the intercom and says, "Riku, you read me? We're gonna fight that thing. Get on deck and show him what you got. Go!"
I love it.
And Riku like looks up and goes, "There he goes again."
Just killing sacred beasts like he always does.
And yeah, Oren says, "The ferryman asks a high price."
It's probably the last of its kind, buddy.
Yeah, it has it coming.
So toward the back of this room is like a elevator hatch, I guess. It looks like a freight elevator.
It kind of looks like in Junon, the thing that like has the switch that looks like a treasure chest that like carries you up.
Yeah.
That's how you know things are getting serious is when we get the diagonal elevator.
Yeah,
right. Yeah.
In Sonic Adventure 2, in
Half-Life. Yeah.
You know.
Everything, yeah. Dude, every time I play a game with a diagonal elevator, I'm like, things are gonna fucking fall down from up top on me. Actually, there's a great quest. Actually, the last quest in the main story of Final Fantasy XIV.
Nice.
Diagonal elevator. Yeah.
I think Perfect Dark had one, unless I'm mistaken. I might be wrong about that.
Now, I mean, to be fair, this does not manifest like any of the diagonal elevators that we're talking about. You literally, you just get on it and then you're on the fucking deck.
You don't typically see a diagonal elevator on a plane.
Yeah, right. Well, I get the feeling
okay, Alex, have you been on every plane ever? I don't think so.
Yeah, there's COVID. No one's flying right now.
That's true.
No one's on any plane. Oh, I wish that were so.
Yeah, people are. They just shouldn't be.
This elevator looks like it's for bringing heavy machinery in from the deck, is what I'm guessing.
Yeah, that makes sense.
From the top, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's the freight elevator.
The observation deck, though, is just loading things into the observation deck.
Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah.
This is how they brought the sphere oscillator in, or whatever.
The sphere oscillator finder. Yeah.
Yeah, whatever.
Rin is on the elevator already. Like he's like already ready to go to sell us some shit.
The little cutscene, as soon as it ends, you see him running, like dashing to the elevator to wait for us.
Yeah.
Like,
So Oren says, "Open the hatch. We fight." And Rin says, "What are we saying? Evray?"
Evray, yeah. That's what I was saying.
Evray is truly mighty. Be well prepared, and then you can buy some weapons or items.
So we're about to go up onto to fight this thing, but I forgot to mention, or I guess we forgot to mention, collectively it's all our fault. There are random encounters on the deck now.
Yeah.
I don't think there's not too much different from the ones that we've been.
Bombs and dual horns mostly, right?
Yeah.
You can steal some good shit.
Dudes.
It's a good place to grind. Like for this next fight,
We'll get to that, won't we?
Yeah, for this next fight, I definitely spent some time down here just making sure Riku got some buff. But we'll talk about that more.
I will say that once you're done with Rin, Waka says, we have to pay, because, like, nothing's free. And Waka says,
if we lose, you'll die too, buddy.
And Rin just goes, oh, I have faith in your victory.
Oh, yeah, it's very good.
I was like, that's fucking
thanks.
good. Yeah, gee, thanks, yeah.
What a spectacular victory for the free market.
Oh, no. The invisible hand has led us once again. But yeah, so we run out onto the deck. It's super cool because, like, we're on top of the airship, like, now. It's kind of badass.
I don't know how we're not just getting blown off.
I know, yeah, the speed of it going by and the wind would just, like, throw all the party members off.
Maybe brother just put it into cruise.
It would be super cold, too.
My headcanon is that the spinning wheel on the back of the ship is, like, somehow creating an okay, like, safe place to be on top.
A nice little, like, neutral pocket of air.
Yeah, that's my headcanon. Is that that's how that works.
Yeah, I believe it.
But yeah, so, like, fucking Evray comes up out of the clouds, is fucking enormous, like, dwarfs the ship, really. I mean, it's much longer and taller than
Yeah,
the
just
ship.
from, like, it's about, like, 3 times the length of Valfor, I would say. Approximately.
I feel like one of its horns is, like, as big as Valfor.
Well, I'm looking at, like, at the, in battle right now.
Oh, I'm looking at, like, the cutscene, like, there's, like, Celsius down there.
Celsius.
Oh, wait, that Fahrenheit.
I think that's called perspective, buddy.
Oh, maybe so. The Celsius is the ship from X2. I'm sorry.
God damn it.
I know, it's so dumb.
You ruined that game for me.
Why even bother playing it now?
But, yeah, Sid opens up, he, like, opens the side of the ship, and there's just, like, port cannons, like, ready to fire at it.
Same ones we used to level home, right?
Yeah.
Oh, there you go.
And he says over the intercom again, we gotta keep our distance, boys, but we can't let her get too far away.
Y'all have to tell me when to move. But tell me quick, huh? This rig ain't so nimble, you hear?
And Titus says, Roger, I'll give the commands. And Riku says, not alone, you won't. And then we're in a battle with Evray. And the thing that they just said is a thing in this battle, right?
Yeah,
It's trigger
that's the
command.
gimmick, yeah.
Yeah.
Sid is actually now in the battle order now.
Yeah, Sid is in the turn order.
Which we have to consider.
Correct.
As they've said, Titus and Riku are the ones who can give commands to Sid.
Right. So as the battle begins, a help window pops up that says, maneuvering the airship. Use trigger commands, move in, and pull back to adjust the distance between the airship and Evray. Only Titus and Riku can give these orders. And if you have something with Scout on, or a sensor, and you're able to, like, read the sensor dialogue for Evray, it says, releases poison breath attack after inhaling. And, like, what you want to do is, when you see it inhale, make sure that the ship is far back enough not to get hit by its poison breath attack. Because that thing will fuck you.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. Like, there's probably some smart way to deal with it. But I find that if you get hit by poison breath, you just have to, like, hope that Evray has, like, only a couple hundred HP left and you can just pound it out with that last character who's alive or whatever.
So I think at first I was like, oh fuck, poison breath is really gonna fuck me up. They have this whole gimmick built around it. And then I realized that Riku is very fast. If you have haste on Riku, you can just use an Albed potion, which not only gives your party 1,000 HP each, but also cures poison.
Yeah, that is true. Yeah.
So it still definitely is not an attack that you want to get hit with, but like towards the end of the battle, I was like, well, I can probably like squeeze by, like all of my characters will like survive this, and then I can just pop a potion.
Sure. Did you actually take one?
I think I did. Yeah, I think I took like 1 or 2.
How many? How much damage did it do?
I'm not entirely sure. I don't have a screenshot of it. Like it did a significant amount. Like I think it brought everyone down to yellow, and then you have to worry about, you know, the poison hitting on a turn. But usually it was like within a turn order that Riku was going to be up soon enough that I was just like, it's not too
That's not
huge
as bad
of a
as
deal.
I thought.
Yeah, for me, the struggle is I find myself frustrated is when there are some times, depending on the turn order, where Evray has 2 moves before he can give a command to Sid. So you can't back away in time to avoid it, and it just sucks. So like I said, I gamed over to here before, so I had to make sure that everyone could at least survive a take from Poison Breath, including Riku, because she was still the weakest party member for me. Because if everyone just dies and no one can administer an outlet potion right away, like I'm like,
Right.
well, shit.
So I used my special sphere that we got, and I used it to teach Titus use. So
Really
now
good.
I can also use Alved potions with Titus.
Oh, hell yeah.
Yeah, and honestly, like not only just for this battle, but that's probably just good to have in general because that's a really good move.
I figured I'd use it on the 2 fastest characters, so I have the most opportunity to use it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And when I say use it on the 2 most fastest, I mean Riku already has it, so I just use it on the 2nd most fastest. But Evray is like a distance boss that you can't hit with melee weapons. So that means like Waka.
No, you can hit.
magic.
You can hit with melee weapons.
Yeah, so you can hit him with melee weapons, but if you're like, if you back the ship away, which I usually take time to like recoup and kind of like get everyone prepped up. Sometimes casting a haste or cheer on people to kind of get them ready for the next time we're about to get to face with Evray.
Right.
That's kind of how I was kind of playing this fight out until you get to a certain point, because there's like Evray also has like Stone Gaze.
Yes.
And then we'll immediately attack with Stone Gaze, which might shatter and like just completely remove a character from the battle, which sucks. So I had Oron, and he just shattered Oron. Like, oh shit!
God.
So since we're doing the podcast, and I feel like I need to like be a little more thorough sometimes when I'm fighting bosses, like try out a bunch of stuff on them. Like I knew the first thing I wanted to do, because Titus and Riku can issue commands, is get haste up on both of them, right? So boom, haste, no problem. And then I was like, what if I can slow Evray so like it doesn't work as often? And you absolutely can slow Evray.
Yeah, so my whole thing, like at this point, like Riku and Titus are pretty leveled up because I did a bunch of grinding in the desert to get those shadow gems. First thing I tried after I haste Titus and Riku, so they have like a bunch of turns before Evray even gets a chance. First thing I tried to do was use a shadow gem. Immune. You can't do...
It's immune to demi attacks, yeah.
Yeah, and also at this point you might have Demi with Lulu, also immune to that.
Yeah.
So the next
it's
thing
immune
I tried...
to most I think elements, right?
Yeah.
Even bio, it can't get poisoned though.
Yeah, because I was gonna say I got to Lulu, tried bio, immune, and I was like, fuck.
Some of Auron's breaks work on it, but not all of them as well.
Yeah, I think the armor break doesn't quite work, I don't think.
Yeah,
but
it's not really an armor enemy, so I don't think it really gives you too much.
But I think the armor break can still bring defense down even if they don't have armor, right?
Oh, I see.
I believe that's correct. I think so, yeah.
Mental break and magic break, I think, still work, which can help kind of just make... The thing is, like, Evray has a ton of HP, so, like, just making sure that everyone is buffed out enough to kind of get enough hits in is, like, most of this battle, because a lot of it's just whittling it down. And then up to a certain point, I think when it's below 1/3 of its HP, it will start doing not photon cannons, but it'll start doing like the swipe.
Yeah.
So if you bring the ship away, it'll zoom in and do like a kind of a milder, but just an attack that'll hit everyone.
The swooping scythe,
I have it on my screen, and the most damage it did was like 350 to one of my characters, so it wasn't doing that much damage.
Yeah, so for me, it missed Auron, it missed Titus, and it hit Riku for 324 damage. So I was like, okay.
Yeah. So like it's not that bad.
But if you another thing about this fight is like if the ship is far away and Sid has another move up, he will use a basically what do they call him? Is it called a salve attack of those cannons.
Oh, interesting. I don't think I did that.
So yeah, he has 3 of them stored up. So if you're far away and he has a turn and doesn't have anything else to do, like you haven't given him a command yet, he'll launch a salve of
that's cool.
Which does look quite a bit. It does a few thousand. It does like 10 or so like of like maybe 200 to 300 per hit.
Whoa,
that's awesome.
It's pretty good.
Very cool.
He can only do those 3 times.
Okay.
And then,
that's pretty awesome.
Similarly enough, Evray can use photon cannons as well.
Yeah.
Which also sucks because you can't really dodge those.
Right.
Another thing about this fight, at least that happened to me, I don't know if it's like like HP based or anything, which we should say it has 32,000 HP. Again, no gravity attacks or anything, so you pretty much like it has high elemental defense and stuff. So
shooting star did not work. I tried.
Yeah. So you're pretty much just, it's going to be a bit of a slug, but when I got to a certain point in the battle, Evray was just casting haste on itself, and I was like,
yes,
no.
Eventually
so I pretty much
haste.
I only used slow to like nullify the haste, and then in the next turn, which also wasn't 100% hit rate, so I would use slow with Titus and not necessarily get it, so they would Evray would still be hasted, and I'm like, oh shit. And usually if I was able to cast slow so that it like nullified the haste, it would just immediately on its next turn cast haste again. And I'm like, fuck. Yeah. Using my strat against me.
I will say that like when it used haste for me, like it was low enough HP that I was just like, well, fuck it. And so I just went all out attack at that point. Like,
hell yeah.
No strategy, just damage, and like was fine. So I feel like this battle is very much just you just want to be on top of it. If you're on top of it, it's fine. Like, as long as you can get done what you need to get done, you have fast enough characters, you're hasting people, it's not too hard, but you just can't get lazy on it.
Yeah, absolutely. It seems like it's definitely a fight that could go very poorly. I could see if I like hadn't done the level grinding before this, like I would have probably hated this boss. But
yeah, this made me actually go back to reload a save from the desert and just start grinding and with Riku, and she was my healer, so she would always get one hit killed. Like when I first got here.
Yeah, that's so, no good.
Yeah, if you ever buffed up, it makes this fight a lot easier.
Yeah, for sure. MVP.
Well, when we beat Evray, it kind of like turns to stone or something. I don't know what the. Yeah, like it petrifies.
Looks like a bad banana.
Yeah. I suppose it just falls out of the sky. Sucks for whoever's down there below it, I suppose.
Yeah, right?
Sucks for Bevelle, I guess.
Yeah.
Sacred Beast is fucking...
Sucks to be Bevelle. No.
CL wouldn't want to be Bevelle.
Hey, I'll take it. Brother says, shoot, we're losing power. And Sid's like, hey, I see Bevelle. And like we just get that little cutscene, a real quick one, before we get our experience. And I have had a good little strategy, I feel like, for the last several boss fights. Because, like, like Kamari's not, like, ultra useful. I never use him in normal fights. So I just swap him in every boss battle, and he just always gets, like, 5 or 6 levels. So, like, he's keeping up with the group pretty well. Because I just put him in for bosses. I'm like, oh. Okay.
Yeah. With Kamari, for me, he is currently at 15 sphere levels, and I don't want to move too far away from Ultima. I feel like I probably should, though.
Yeah, I mean, like, it can be useful sometimes. I find having Kamari is useful if, like, you want it to be, like, Titus or Walka's turn, but they're already in the party, and you're on somebody else's turn. You could be like, oh, well, I'll just switch Kamari in, because that's essentially the same thing. Yeah. That's what I use him for. But yeah, for the fight, we get 2 black magic spheres. Fuck yeah.
Hell yes.
So when you learn Ultima, you can teach it to 2 more people. And then we get a cool cutscene of the fucking ship falling out of the sky, I guess.
Losing control.
Losing power. It's fucking a bunch of billowy black smoke is coming out of it.
Wait a second. You got 2 black magic spheres?
Yeah.
God damn it. I only got 1.
Did you really?
Yeah. I guess it must be like a rare drop or something.
We'll do it Pokemon style and hook our switches up via Game Link cable.
Hell
and
yeah.
I'll attach one of the black magic spheres to a Pikachu, and then trade it to you. And then you can
hell
have another
yeah.
one.
And then if I unplug mine right at the right time, then we can both have it.
That's right. And Miku's under the truck. Anyway,
Miku.
Yeah, Miku's under the truck.
Yeah, that is a according to the wiki, that is a 12.5% rare drop.
Oh.
So that's you got yourself a Black Knight halberd there.
Yeah.
You can also steal water gems from it, which is pretty useful. You can then use it on Evray, even though I don't think it really does too much damage. And there's a rare steal where you can get 2 instead of just 1.
You remember how... Well, I guess we haven't talked about this yet, but Carl, you remember how FF8 had an option for you to draw magic from an enemy and cast it on the same turn? You remember that?
Yeah.
It'd be cool to be able to like steal and use.
Yeah,
as, like,
that'd be cool.
Technique like that would be pretty neat.
Get on it, Nomura.
Nomura, give us the Final Fantasy X HD remaster. the box for it is just like now with one added feature. But anyway, so the ship is like falling out of the sky. It's careening down toward Bevelle. We get a nice aerial shot of the city of Bevelle. They built the whole city symmetrically, which is pretty fucking amazing.
They built this city.
we built this city symmetrically.
God damn it!
But because you have to think that like cities are built like they expand, right? Like cities expand. And so, like, I'm imagining that whenever you want to build an expansion to Bevelle, like if you're making another residential area, like, well, we have to make exactly the same residential area on the other side of town too, like with the same houses.
Imagine if there was a West Philly that was just mirrored.
Yeah, East Philly is exactly West Philly.
It's backwards.
Very, very crazy.
But yeah, the silhouette of the footprint, I guess, of the city kind of almost looks like a bird or something.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah,
I'm trying to think if it doesn't quite look like one of the like Yevon symbols or anything, but it does. It looks like a bird or a symbol or something, though. Yeah,
it looks pretty high tech.
But we cut to from far away to like I guess I'm not sure the temple or wherever the chapel or wherever the wedding is taking place. I can't figure out where on the actual city overlook that this is taking place, because
I think if you look at it, like if you're looking at the picture of the city from overhead, you see how like there's the big bridge leading into town, right? And then after that is like a big diagonal facet, I suppose. Behind that, I think, is the temple, which is like surrounded by like double moats. I think we're up on top of that temple.
Okay, that would make sense
because of all the waterfalls that were where Yuna and Seymour were. I think it would make sense for there to be waterfalls there because there's those like cascading moats or whatever.
I'll take it.
Sounds good.
Sounds good.
Anyway, we get more cutscene of Seymour and Yuna up there getting ready to be married, and now they're early.
Seymour's looking like a real zombie, very pale.
Yeah, he does look like he's lacking a good bit of blood.
Yeah, he is looking like pure shit.
He's a little embalmed. Perhaps
they just filled him up with like formaldehyde and was like, good as new
for the wedding,
Yeah.
Gotta say though, Yuna looks very nice.
Yuna looking good. She's like
got a veil, tiara,
yeah.
But there's they're surrounded by actual people that aren't armed guards,
right? Yeah,
monks
like
or
Yevonites.
Yeah,
Yevonistas.
I think because he shows up here in a second in this cutscene. I have a picture. If you look down there, I think that's Keenock.
It is, yeah.
Yeah.
So Bobby Hill motherfucker.
that Bobby Hill motherfucker.
So yeah, this is like different than what we were seeing. I guess maybe they were just watching during their like rehearsal.
Yeah, maybe so.
Because now they're coming from like different wings of this like area. You can see them on like Ian just coming from the left and Seymour's coming from the right, and they meet in the middle.
They're coming through the crowd like it's a WWE event, and like the Hardy Boys are sneaking into the fight or whatever, and they come through the crowd and they grab a steel chair, and it's like, oh fuck.
But yeah, they start ascending like this staircase to the highest point of this area, and Maester Micah is up there waiting for them, and it's like they're doing like the walk, right? Just instead of like
the procession, yeah.
The procession, exactly right. And then like
Rockabell's
some fireworks.
Canon in D is playing.
Yeah, right.
That's a good song. That's a good song, and it's every single pop song ever.
Yeah.
Thanks, Nobuo.
Some fireworks go off. Very pretty.
Not home related.
Yuna looks fucking miserable.
Yuna looks fucking miserable. Also, I will say that like every time they have a cut scene with Yuna in it, I am once again surprised. I'm always like, oh yeah, she has heterochromia. Forgot about that.
Yeah, which I think we now kind of know a little more why that is. Yeah, like she's got the one green eye. We know
she has the
big
Albed
thing
eye.
about the Albed.
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty cool.
Makes sense. And yeah, it does plainly show Keenock here. Like once the once the actual FMV or whatever, the fully rendered one is over, there's a cutscene just kind of showing them, and like we see Keenock there and a bunch of armed guards.
It's actually between two different FMVs. We see a jarring shot of just like low poly Keenock, and then it goes back into another FMV, I think.
Yeah. Well, it shows him, and it shows the guards raise their guns at something.
Yeah,
and then we see what they're raising the guns at.
Yeah, he's looking at something in the sky, and it's a bunch of fireflies.
Yes.
Which is interesting.
Oh, I wonder if that's from Evray.
Whoa,
could be. Every's ashes.
I wonder if those fireworks are that. Yeah.
It doesn't look like they're fireworks. It could be related to that. Like this is right after the fireworks happen, but they look very similar to fireflies.
Oh, those are fireflies for sure. The things that he's looking at.
All right.
But yeah. Anyway,
you would not believe your eyes.
But they aim their guns, and then out of the fucking clouds, the airship just comes whoosh, like screaming out of it, and I was like, we're gonna crash into the fucking temple and kill everybody.
Sid's like, this is my only move. I gotta do it.
Yeah. Then we get more fully rendered scene. Keenock says fire, and I have a picture of Keenock's face, fully rendered in 3D, and it looks great. Like,
yeah.
I got that same one. Oh, buddy. Okay, now it looks like a hat. It doesn't look like his hair.
Yeah. He's definitely wearing a hat, but
I love that so much.
But then in the
He's
next
a real
scene,
rough-looking motherfucker.
Yeah, fuck
everyone's
this guy.
wearing soap shoes.
Oh my god, yes!
Everybody
they are rolling
is
around at the speed of sound.
Dude,
everyone,
everybody
I can't
is
believe
Sonic the Hedgehog 2 Adventure battled the fuck up.
Oh yeah, they're heading into the pyramids. They're racing against Shadow. They're trying to get all of Knuckles' artifacts or whatever the fuck. I don't know. I haven't played that game in a while, but it's cool as hell.
The airship shoots like anchors, like harpoon, like giant fucking anchors into the temple, right? Just like whoom.
Yeah, like suspension wire.
Yeah, they're attached to suspension wire. And then the whole fucking party soap shoe grinds down the fucking wire.
Everyone.
Kimari does it with his bare fucking feet.
Yeah,
Mad
and as all of this is happening, Seymour grabs Yuna and like starts pulling her away because he like realizes what's happening and he just says come, and he's like trying to make this happen before they get here.
Importantly, in the CGI scene, Lulu is not shown soap grinding.
Ah, damn.
She's more dignified.
Yeah, more dignified.
She's riding down side saddle.
It does show Orin. Like Orin and Kimari are the funniest ones, because they are like dignified or whatever.
I just love that he's like, it's just Titus's fucking Tim's, but he's doing the fucking grinding. Like, why was the okay? So in this,
they do look like water shoes in that shot, though. They look like they're like made of rubber, like some sort of
yeah. In this like era of like gaming, why was this so popular? Because this is around when Sonic Adventure 2 Battle came out.
Look how long Titus's upper right leg looks in this shot. Like
he's like 75% like calf. Or like 25% like calf and like 75% like thigh.
Wow.
So much thigh on that motherfucker.
Well, this is 2001, which is when grinding was still a thing. The X Games were probably still a thing. Tony Hawk was still a thing.
Yeah, he's just wearing like Jinko jean shorts.
If we're not looking at Titus's creepy giant thigh extension, they are indeed on top of the temple, though.
Yeah. So they're at the highest point in the city.
Yeah. I actually kind of just want to let's just finish the podcast in 30 minutes. I need a while to just look at this picture.
Yeah, this is fucking awesome.
Yeah, this game is very dense visually, like as we mentioned in the first episode.
I do like that when Titus is like grinding down, he decides that he needs to do like an ollie over to
he jumps to the other one. Yeah. He had to get more rings.
I think like one of the lines was about to like kind of clothesline him, so he kind of jumped over to one maybe.
I see. I thought he was just showing off like an asshole.
God, that would be a real sad way to end the game, right?
Hey, Riku, check this out. Oh no.
Gotta get out of here.
Get the game over screen.
Okay, he ducks under one and then jumps onto the one he ducked under. Okay.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
So
too fast for you to care.
I would like to. So the city of Bevelle, speaking of which, since we can see a lot of it from overhead, it looks really fucking cool. Like it's like the equivalent of like a Junon or Midgar. Like there's a lot of stuff in it, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like there's all kinds of weird houses and like it seems like they're built in water in some places, like pretty fucking cool looking. I really hope we get to go there at some point in the game.
Yeah.
I feel like it would be a giant waste of potential to show us all of this and then never let us see any of it. Not that that will happen. But yeah, so the party eventually soaps their way down to the platform.
At the speed of sound.
Right? At the speed of sound to the bottom of the platform. So it's like a little like battle gauntlet working our way through the gunners and the different soldiers to get up to where Seymour and Yuna are.
Yeah. Also, the lines are like completely cut, and the Fahrenheit is like taken off. Like this is a one-way trip.
Right.
We're out of here.
I did use a level 4 sphere key.
Nice. What did you use it for?
I used it to get Copycat.
Nice.
So,
nice.
Which is close to Riku. It was like right where she was on the sphere grid. So it just mimics the last turn. And like, I was like, now I've played other Final Fantasies. The mime command is usually broken. So I'm just going to go ahead and get it just in case.
I did some research on that because I really want to get
broken.
Ultima. No. I really want to get Ultima.
Oh.
And I was like, okay, but like a bird in the hand is better than two in the bush. Should I just get Copycat? I haven't done it yet, but I think I'm going to because that command seems kick ass.
Yeah, just use Ultima anyway or whatever, yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
So what's cool is we get into a fight with some of the Yevon monks as we like run around and try to get up to where they are.
The warrior monks, right? Yeah.
Yeah, there's some very cool enemies here that I really like.
Yeah.
There's robots.
There's robots that are apparently not Machina because...
Yeah, are these things regulation? Like, what the fuck?
Yeah, I know. Riku cannot one-hit KO them, so...
Yeah, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Fucked.
These are that newfangled Yevon shit. Yeah, there's one that's just like a pogoing. He's just bouncing on one leg.
Dude, it's
no
so
arms.
fucking cool. It's just a robot with these big, long legs.
He drop kicks Oran for me.
Oh yeah, he's doing a stance where he's about to like do a kick called a teep, where you just fully extend your foot, and it's almost like you're pushing someone back with your foot.
Drop
a little
dead legs. Anyway, sorry, what?
Yeah, teeps are really fun though. When I saw him, I'm like, I gotta fucking take this fucker down. I gotta sweep that leg.
You do need to take him down because if you look at his sensor information, it says if it is the last enemy standing, it will release a vicious thrust kick, which will eject one of the party members from the fight and just remove him entirely.
This was super funny because we're like up in the air and he just punted Titus like over the edge. Boink.
Imagine being able to pull off that cool like ollie to the other fucking wire and then like landing that trick no problem, and then your combo is fucking broken by a robot that just kicks you.
He has become Blitzball.
But yeah, there's the guards have like some of them have rifles, and then there's other ones with flamethrowers.
I love
it. They're not very fast because every time they hold up their gun, they seem like they're kind of still figuring it out.
Dude, I was gonna say I always take out the flamethrower guys first, not because they have flamethrowers that hit all party members, but because their attack animation is like a full 10 seconds long, and I was just like,
they're like,
I don't have
hold
time.
Hold on, I gotta turn it on.
Yeah, everybody
like a true
just wait for a second.
speedrunner.
Yeah. It's warming up. It's warming. It's like a Keurig machine. Like you have to like.
Yeah.
It takes like it has a little cycle where it warms up the water first.
Yeah, it sucks when you grab the flamethrower and you go to open it up to like put your flame cartridge in,
and somebody already
used
left
one's
one
in there, and you're like, "What the fuck?" It takes you 2 seconds to take it out. Now I got to take out your trash. Come on, have some fucking courtesy.
There's another robot that appears in some of these fights.
Called the drone, right? It's like kind of like a double, has two cannons on it.
It's called the Yat 99.
Yeah.
Which is cool as hell. But its thing is that like it is always behind other enemies.
Yeah, you can't hit it.
Yeah, you can't attack it except for like with Waka and Lulu until you take out the enemies in front of it, and then your party actually runs forward and closes the gap. Yeah.
It's basically the opposite of the thrust kick one, where like you never want that one to be the last enemy on the field. You have no choice but to have this one be the last enemy on the field.
Yeah. I guess you could take it out first, but there would be no reason to that.
Yeah, there's not really a reason to.
Yeah.
We do see it in the Keenock FMV briefly in the background. It's pretty cool looking.
It's true. But I like that we're like fighting our way through these dudes with like rifles and fucking flamethrowers and shit like that. And we run up to Keenock and he just has a normal rifle. And he's
I
like,
fucking love it.
And he goes,
it's just like an AK-47.
I love gun Keenock is so funny looking.
Gun Keenock.
This has gone far enough.
And apparently his gun would kill us though, because we're like, oh shit, he's got a gun.
Yeah, we just got shot like 19 times in a row and got flamethrowered and robo-kicked. But now Keenock has the only gun that's actually lethal.
I'd kill you if I had my gun. Yeah, well, you don't.
I really want to take just a picture of Keenock's face and add the gun pointing at the camera filter over top of it. I'm going to do that.
But like when he aims the gun at Titus, Orin kind of like jumps in front of him and like pushes Titus back a little bit. He's like kind of like being protective of him a little bit. And all the other guards who are stationed around are all aiming their fucking guns at us now. And you see like Seymour's smug ass face where he's like, got him. But did he get us? Or did Yuna get him, motherfucker? She has her summoning
got her staff.
Which, like, nobody checked.
Hidden up her tiny dress.
Yeah, I was going to say, like, where did you put it? Like, she had to be just carrying it. Like,
I mean, how are we carrying all of everyone's weapons anyway?
Yeah, that's a good point.
Got a whole stash of them.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah, it's like in the Zelda cartoon where it just shrinks down and goes into a tiny little bag.
I like it.
How big is an Albed potion that I can carry 99 of them? No problem.
It's magic, baby.
They're like a Tic Tac. They're like little like. Little
it's a Pez dispenser, yeah.
Yeah,
that's Machina.
Yeah, she pulls out her staff and like steps in front of Seymour and like kind of starts like the poses to begin the sending, and Seymour like very calmly is like,
"You would play at marriage just for a chance to send me? Your resolve is admirable."
And I was like, "Oh, Seymour, I don't like this." He goes,
"Yeah,
all the more fitting to be my lovely wife." Ugh.
Real creep.
Real weirdo. What is he doing here?
What is he doing here? Yeah. And like, so Eunice starts doing the sending, and Micah stops her, and is like, he says,
"Stop! Do you not value your friends' lives?"
And then she looks down and sees like everybody pointing guns at them, and he says, "Your actions determine their fate. Protect them or throw them away. The choice is yours." Yo, fuck Grandmaster Micah.
Yeah, what a motherfucker here.
It'd be cool if she was just like, "It's cool, we've got Phoenix down. It's fine.
Yeah, like
do what you want. I'll just not send them."
When are we going to get cool Final Fantasy Pope? They're always assholes.
Yeah, wait. You gotta. It's a good point. Oh no, you'll kill them and then I just won't send them.
Yeah, their attachment to the world will just keep them around, and then they'll just be like death proof. It's fine.
Yeah,
I guess like that's the one danger if you come back as like a fucking undead, is you can just be sent and die immediately. But that's still not that dangerous, because like in normal life you could just be shot and die immediately. So like ascending at least takes time. You could like push them and be like, "Stop
this
it."
This is like a ghost marrying a Ghostbuster.
Oh,
you think
man,
like
the forbidden love?
When somebody turns into fireflies, do you think it's like piece by piece? So if you did a little bit of the sending, I'd lose like some of my body parts.
Yeah, it's like Marty McFly in Back to the Future.
Yeah, exactly. Like you're looking at the photograph of yourself and you're like, "No." But Yuna is swayed and she drops her staff on the stairs, and there's a very like cinematic moment of it like bouncing down the stairs.
It's like Aerith's holy.
Dude, I was gonna say, I was like, it hits the ground.
Yeah, I thought the same thing. Significantly less sad.
I think it's got bounce.
Yeah.
Maybe it's inflatable. That's maybe why she was able to hold it.
It's pretty durable too.
Durable or adorable? I'm sorry. What
durable.
Did you say?
It's adorable.
It was adorable and durable. Hell yeah.
Seymour says, "You are wise," and it begins another fully rendered cutscene. And like, ew, I don't like it.
Oh yeah, it's not. It's
they're smonchin'. I don't like it.
I don't like it.
I really think the directing here was just them being like, okay, We want this scene to be as upsetting as possible. It's already upsetting just in general because of what's happening. We want to make it extremely uncomfortable.
It's extremely uncomfortable, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Well, you get to see a nice close-up of Waka's face with stubble.
That's pretty good.
Tetsuya, I am going to cuck the audience, Nomura. But yeah, like Seymour gets all fucking ultra handsy on Yuna. Ooh, I don't like it.
Yeah.
He's also a lot bigger than her, so it's very like...
Yeah, the power dynamic is really, really upsetting as well.
Yeah.
He's still wearing a stupid Pope hat.
He's still wearing his fucking...
That's the worst part of it, honestly.
His dunce cap. Yeah, you know, dude, Waka does have some stubble down there.
Yeah, dude.
This again is like, this is weird white Waka.
Oh, yeah. It's a Macklemore Waka.
Yeah.
Wacklemore.
Wacklemore. There is something really great that happens. So when Seymour starts like just grossly kissing Yuna, she's clearly not into it. It's very uncomfortable. There's an amazing just shot of Yuna's fist, like that Arthur meme.
Yeah,
of like
clenching.
Arthur being pissed off. Like,
Yucko.
But yeah, so he like just goes open mouth on Yuna, or tries to anyway, and she's clearly not enjoying it.
yeah, it's definitely got the energy of someone who A, has never kissed before and is really bad at it, and B, someone who is kissing someone that they absolutely should not be.
Yeah, right. It's very uncomfortable.
Getting kissed by a dead dude.
Kissing the dead
Oh, he's probably
dude.
all clammy.
Ugh. And as soon as he's done, he turns to Keenock and just says, "Kill them." And so
He
like,
says, "Kill them. I am going to become the Joker now."
I bet he smells nice though. The kid said he did.
True.
Keenock like pushes the gun into Titus's face and says, "I'm sorry, but it is for Yevon." And Oren's a last ditch effort to save our lives. Oren's like, "Wait, those weapons are forbidden by Yevon." He's like, "No, wait, it's Machina."
Oh shit, you're right.
And Keenock just says, "Oh, there's exceptions." And like, you son of a bitch.
Motherfucker.
But in the interim, in that time period that little conversation happened, Yuna has walked over to the fucking edge of this platform and says, "Throw down your weapons, let them go or else." And she like backs up to the edge of it. So she's like threatening to throw herself off of the fucking platform, right? Which like, we gotta talk about this scene a little bit too. I know that we're like going on a good bit of time here for the recording, but I see what's happening
This is
here.
This is a cool scene.
It's a cool scene, but I want to just keep a couple things in mind. I see what Yuna is doing. I see what she's saying, and I get it. She's like, "Oh, you need me for this. So if I threaten my own life, you'll have to do what I say." That's the thing that they have now, right? Like that's what's in their possession.
Yeah.
It's like, "Oh, we have that. That's our card on the table," right? Is it like, "Oh, I'm threatening my own life. You have to do what I say because XYZ." So she backs up to the thing and it says,
Leave now, please.
Titus runs up and like, I guess because like they see what's going on, they're like kind of frozen. And Titus says,
"You're coming with us."
Don't worry. Go.
and Seymour again, just like super calm, is like, "This is foolish. If you fall, you'll die." And she says,
Don't worry. I can fly.
and then like says, "Believe."
She does a weird little thing with her. She like does a half dab.
No, yeah. Before she says, "Don't worry, I can fly," she wipes her mouth like in response to
Oh,
Seymour.
yeah.
Yeah. She's wiping off the germs.
It's like ugh.
Yeah.
Like corpse smooch.
Yeah.
But yeah, she says, "Believe," and then crosses her arms and just falls backward off of the platform, right? But yeah, she straight up jumps off. And like, I like to like, again, like kind of just calm. Seymour and Micah both just like look over the edge, just like, "Oh," like, and the look on their face is so like, just mild, where they're just like, "Oh, that was some wild shit." Like they're not like upset by it.
Whoops.
Yeah.
Oopsie.
Like that was weird.
There's like a very pretty rendered scene here where she's like falling off the tower platform, whatever you want to call it.
Sure.
And
Precipice.
she like extends her arms out and summons Veil 4, and Veil 4 comes down and like catches her, right? It's very like action packed the way like swoops out of the sky and like,
Yeah.
you know, like shoots toward the earth faster than she's falling to catch her. Or I guess, right? Veil 4? Yeah.
I'm not sure. Is this like also showing that she does not need the staff to summon?
Yeah, I suppose that's correct.
Yeah.
But it helps, probably.
So here's my question, though. This is why this was weird to me. We no longer have that bargaining chip. Now they could just shoot us.
Yeah, I think...
like the one thing that was preventing us from being shot was her doing that. And then she's like, no, I'm fine. And they could just be like, oh, well, I guess just kill them then.
That's right, yeah. She says, let them go or else I'll jump.
She jumps anyway. So now they don't have to let us go.
Yeah, I think the directing could have been a little better where, like, our team escapes and then she's like, peace. Like, I can fly. Yeah. I do want to say, as soon as she summoned Valfor and he, like, swooped in and caught her, I was like, I don't know what I was expecting would happen. Like, I kind of just believed that she could fly. I was like, I don't know why I was thinking that. Like, her dress, so I don't think we really explained her dress too much. It's like a normal kind of, like, wedding dress, but then it kind of, like, arcs back, like, right around, like, where, as a skirt, and has, like, feathers that almost look like wings. So I was like... That's Chekhov's wings there. She's definitely gonna fly with that shit somehow, and it's gonna be awesome.
It's foreshadowing.
Or I was like that, or the Fahrenheit is gonna catch her. You know. Like,
yeah. The DeLorean is gonna come up underneath her, and then it's gonna open the door and hit Biff Tannen in the face. And
I haven't seen a flying Fahrenheit in 1,000 years.
But good thing Riku's here though, because she goes, "Cover your eyes," and throws a fucking like flash grenade. I guess she had.
Yo, hell yeah!
I guess she was in overdrive and was able to mix one up.
Yeah.
And I like,
I figured it was kind of like a smoke bomb, which we just stole several of from the zoos.
Right. But it is a flashbang, and it's the funniest fucking scene too, because she says, "Cover your eyes," and throws it on the ground, and just very slowly, very calmly, Seymour just turns to look right at it. Like as it hits the ground, he just is like, he just like looks at it, and it blows up right in his face.
Ooh, a piece of candy.
It's the exact same energy as when there was the solar eclipse, and everyone was like, unless you have special glasses, do not look directly in it. So of course Donald Trump fucking looked directly at it, and there's just pictures of him being like staring directly at it.
How exciting. So if you're not from America and in American politics, in late January, we actually send the president. So
parody in the game.
in the game. But dude, I'm sorry, I'm just looking at this picture though. Like he's so calm. Like when he looks like he just looks directly at it. Because like Riku even's like, "Cover your eyes," and he's like, "Huh."
I'm going to say this, and I'm going to leave it to Alex's discretion to leave in for the pod. But Seymour getting killed at the temple and then, like, not dying and just, like, still being alive is pretty much the same exact thing as Donald Trump getting COVID and then being like, "I'm okay." We should have sent him.
He had an attachment to this world. That's why.
Yeah, it was causing suffering to everyone.
Well, just like Sin, once it's over, it just starts up again, though.
Yep.
Sorry, go ahead, Alex.
Yeah, Waka asked, "What was that?" And Riku just says, "An Al-Bhed flash bomb."
I
think we're getting a shot of just the steps of everyone just making a run for it, right?
Yes. And I think
which is funny. It's a fixed camera, and we're just seeing people zoom by down.
I think like
the steps.
Kamari or Orin is like carrying Titus, and Titus is like screaming, and he's like, "Let me go! I'm gonna kill Seymour."
Yeah, which is kick ass. That fucking rules.
Kamari says,
"Yuna said leave. We leave.
We'll join up with her later.
Break through."
And so we run all the way down the stairs. We see what was behind, I guess, the platform that we were on just now. And it looks like the entrance to the Temple of Bevelle. Ooh. So as we're running up to it, Riku says, "Where did Uni go?" Kimari says,
"Bevelle Palace is temple. Yuna goes to one place only.
The Chamber of the Faith!"
And we enter Bevelle Temple.
Hell yeah.
So, like, 2 birds with 1 stone, baby. We escaped, and also we can go get a faith.
Yeah, on the way out, we can hit the McDonald's when we're escaping the city that we just, like, caused a huge fucking riot in.
We're hitting the McDonald's. If you guys want anything, leave us a voicemail at 530-MATERIA.
Hey, I ordered McDonald's today, and I didn't get my Big Mac. I ordered a Big Mac meal. I got the rest of the components. Did not get the Big Mac.
Is that true?
Yeah, it's a bummer.
I hate
It's
that
fine.
for you.
I'm relaxed about it.
The person who's making it didn't have their overdrive ready. So
A very sad and forlorn. That's business, baby.
What a horrible way to start out 2021, the year that we're in right now. Oh, shit. I fucked up that joke.
I guess what we're doing, because this is coming out on January 1st.
Mm-hmm.
Happy first birthday, the Munster Technical University in Ireland. According to the Wikipedia page for the number 2021, because that is a thing that's happening this year, I guess.
Hell yeah, we did it.
We did it. I'm sorry, I'm just reading the Wikipedia page about 2021 now.
But yeah, I think, is that where we're going to leave it for today?
Yeah, I think that's where we're going to leave it for today.
Walking into the temple. There's still like a little bit that happens, but there's a save sphere coming up real soon. We'll talk about this room next week.
And yeah, we'll fucking do another fucking Cloister of Trials.
Can't wait.
Fun for everyone. Is this the last one? I think this is the last shitty one.
Nice.
Every time we do a Cloister of Trials, I'm always like, ugh, these fucking things.
Yeah, so how far should we go for next week?
Oh, okay. Next week, we'll just do all of the temple. We'll go until we are out of Bevelle Temple and back in Macalania Woods. We'll stop there. Now, there's not a save point, I think, at the beginning of the Macalania Woods section, but it's a whole thing. So either you probably just have to play through it if you're playing with us, but a whole thing happens both next episode and the episode after that. We're getting to the big scenes of Final Fantasy X now.
Sweet.
So it's gonna be very exciting.
Finally gonna meet Donald Duck.
Hell yeah.
Finally meet Donald Duck. We'll finally get Aerith back in the party. Aerith, sorry. Happy New Year, you filthy
Happy New
animals.
Year. From our family to yours. Should old acquaintance be forgot? Because of sin's toxic.
What if old... Yeah. What a shame. I have no jokes. I'm looking for jokes. I got nothing, Alex.
If anyone has any jokes, feel free to call our hotline. We're taking a hard stance in 2021. No more jokes on the podcast. We tried that. We're done with them. Jokes are so 2020. They're 2019. We're in a post-joke world now.
The energy I'm trying to take into 2021 is no humor whatsoever. Just completely joyless.
We're going to be calm about mostly everything.
So, since Christmas just happened, a special shout out to my mom, who got me not one pair of socks, not two pairs of socks, not three pairs of socks, not ... not 10 pairs of socks, not 11 pairs of socks, ... 17 pairs.
Damn. That's a good gift.
Hell yeah.
And I did ask for socks for Christmas.
Honestly,
so.
Socks are like my favorite fucking gift at Christmas from my mom. So shout out to my mom.
Dude, it's the best because everybody needs to wear them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't want to buy that shit for myself.
Well, Home's gone. Yuna's a wife now. Yuna's hitched.
She's murred.
And I guess they're getting divorced already. Guess it didn't work out.
That's pretty wild how Yuna and Seymour get married, and then for all of Final Fantasy X-2, they're just married the whole time. But they're like both very happy with each other.
It's the married with children dynamic. No peg.
Love and marriage. No peg.
Anyway.
The real motivation for killing Seymour is so he doesn't say my wife.
My wife. All right. Let's fucking wrap this shit.
My wife.
Alex, why don't you be the last enemy standing in the battle and thrust kick us off the fucking Bevelle platform?
Oh, also, a week from now, I'm doing the GDQ thing.
Yeah.
Check out the schedule.
Hell yeah. Thanks to Night Around for the theme music. Again, they're streaming on Twitch recently, and I've been watching them play Final Fantasy VII. It's always fun to hang out in the chat. They are currently chocobo breeding.
Oh, hell yeah.
My sympathies.
I wish them good luck, yes. Thanks to Nobuo Uematsu, Masashi Hamauzo, and Junya Nakano for the game music. Rate, review, subscribe. Call us at 530-MATERIA, or find us at every FNFF on all the things. There's nothing to do but destroy the podcast and all go down together.
Bye.